Young black women, I love you. I love my people. So I'm going to explain something to you, and I'm going to try to make this as short, as quick, and as simple as possible. But this is anything but simple. The first thing that you must understand is that we live in a racist society, a white, systemically racist society geared for the destruction of the black family. Understand this. White folks have never given us anything. We fought to end slavery. The civil rights movement and the movements of the civil rights movement of the 50s and 60s, we fought for the right to vote. We fought for civil rights. We fought to defeat Jim Crow laws, and we did it. To prove my point to you, some of you have heard of Black Wall Street. Not only did we have Black Wall Street, we had 400 black banks. Necessity is the mother of invention. The reason why we had to create our own black banks is because we could not get loans from white banks for white, for black businessmen and inventors. So we had to come up with our own banks. And this was in the 1920s. And we also created the penny stock because we didn't have much money. So we used our pennies to finance our communities. And we were successful. We were responsible for the roaring 20s. We were the richest ethnicity in the United States of America. So what happened? Most of you know they bombed our banks. They bombed our banks, they bombed our towns, and then they buried them underneath lakes. And I tell you this so that you understand systemic racism and the violence that we had to go through to get to where we are today. So I want you to understand, white people have never given us anything. Everything that we've done, they've tried to undermine. And when they undermined our black towns, cities, and banks, it caused the Great Depression because we ran the United States economically. And when they destroyed our banks, cities, and towns, they destroyed the United States economy. And they took our money, our towns, and our cities, and they used the military to do this. So you have to know where you have come from to know where you are going. Now, the feminist movement is a farce for black people because black women have never had civil rights in totality. So why should black women worry about feminine rights when our main concern should be civil rights collectively? The main concern of the black family throughout American history has been the concern of the black family. That has been taken from us with femininity, with the feminine movement. How did they do it? They tried to do it this way, but it didn't work. They put black women on welfare and told them they could not have a man in the house. Then they paid black women more money to have black children out of wedlock. We survived this because black women were still at home to raise and guide the children, and black men were sneaking over to their homes anyway. And when the black man got himself together, she married him with the kids and got off welfare. And they ended up buying homes. So it didn't work. The women got pregnant, had kids, but a lot of them, when the man got himself together, they got married and she got off welfare. And this was true in millions of black families. So what did they do? They came up with the 3-strike law. So that if a black man, if he had 2 crimes against him and he was trying to get himself together, they could put him in jail for 20 years just for jaywalking. Then what did they do to the black woman? Well, all of a sudden, Bill Clinton decided, with Joe Biden, decided that, okay, you want to get welfare, now you have to go out and get a job. So now, to get those welfare benefits, which came with hospital benefits, black women had to take a minimum wage job, and their children now became latchkey kids because there was nobody at home to supervise them. And that started the breakup of the black family. But that still didn't work because black men, and because eventually, if she would take that little job she had, he would take the money he had, and they would still get together, combine their money, and she would work, but she didn't have to work overtime. She didn't have to work 2 jobs, and in some situations, she worked, and he was sneaking back and forth over there anyway. So the black family was still somewhat connected. But the feminist movement, disconnected everything. Because what they did now was they hired black women in jobs that black men once had. And now all of a sudden, then they ran all the commercials and ads saying that women, you don't need a man. You don't need a man. And they convinced black women that they didn't need a man, which was a lie. And with black women working jobs, making more money than black men, all of a sudden, black men became emasculated and women became more masculine. And then you see on TV all the time, athletes, whatever, they want to get in the, black men want to get in the movies, want to do this, want to do that. You got to wear a dress. See, it's obvious what they were doing. So we have to understand what they were doing. And another thing they did to destroy the black family was that the black people, period, was that they took away, we only had one black TV station, BET, and it gave us the news that we needed to advance as a group. It kept us locked in together. Then they took our radio stations. Now we don't have any black radio stations. We got one black TV station, Oprah, and she's a sellout. And she's making movies like The Color Purple, as if all black men are like the men in her show. One black man in the show, he's a tyrant. The other one that's married to Oprah, he's a simp. So understand what they're putting in your minds. Then they started this femininity thing. They started making black women masculine and say things like they don't need a black man. So now black men are leaving the country, becoming passport brothers. Okay. And now, the feminine black women who have hit the wall because they don't know how to get along with a man and no longer respect the black man because of because of the way they've been manipulated, they're upset and they're telling young women to divest from black men, become divestors. Divestors is not even a word. You won't find it in the dictionary. There's no such thing as a divestor. And you don't hear white women running around talking about, I'm going to be a divestor, because they didn't take the white man's jobs from them. They took the black man's job. And so now you have these black women running around chasing these black guys, basketball stars, movie stars, guys that's making six figures. And the reality of the situation is there's only 1% doing that. And these women, what they should be going after is middle class black men. That's the key. Go after middle class black men. Now, another key is you have to know how to, you have to understand the character of a black man. You have to understand the character of a man if you're interested in a relationship with him. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, listen to him speak. Let him speak. And eventually, he will tell you what he wants in a relationship. Whether he wants to be married, have children, buy a home, he will tell you all these things if you pay attention. He will have this goal in the back of his mind, although in his early 20s to 25, he won't be working on that goal. He'll be out looking to have fun, do this and do that. But once you find out what it is he wants, then you have to, if you want the same thing he wants, then show him what you bring to the table. Show him. Because 9 times out of 10, he's not going to ask you what you bring to the table. He's not going to ask you that. Nobody asks that. That's some TV stuff. What he's going to do is pay attention to whether or not you keep a clean house. He's going to pay attention to whether or not you cook. He's going to pay attention to how you spend and manage your money. He's going to pay attention to how you spend and manage your money, what type of a home you keep, and whether or not you can cook. Because these are all things that he's going to need in a woman in order for him to reach his full potential. And when the purpose of listening to a man speak is to understand and recognize his potential. His potential is his character. And you want to feed and nurture the potential, not block it, not try to change it. You have to find a man that wants what you want, because men control relationships. And if you find a man who wants what you want, it is easier to fit in with him than to date a man who doesn't want what you want and try to recreate him. Having his baby is not going to recreate him. That is not the way to go. Now, in some situations, in some scenarios, having his baby will wake up a sense of responsibility. And if it does, consider yourself lucky. And I'm going to tell you this. Don't try that trick again. Know your place. Know your place. Because if you try that again, he's going to get upset. And all hell is going to break loose because he's not going to let you dominate him or change his direction that he has for himself. So let's go over this. The first thing you do is you listen to him because he will eventually tell you what he wants to accomplish in life. In his 20s and 25, it doesn't make a difference whether he has a car or not. Doesn't make a difference if he's living with his parents. What makes a difference is what does he want to do? What does he want to do? And at 25, you're going to see him start to go in the direction of accomplishing the things he wants to accomplish when he gets 25. And when you see him moving in that direction, that's when you clamp down on him. Instead of allowing him to go out with his buddies, have him take you out. And if he can't afford to take you out, then you take him out. But you keep him locked in. Keep him locked in the direction he wants to go in. You have that ability in your femininity. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to do it because I'm not a woman. But if you understand your femininity, then you know how to be what he wants you to be. And and he'll want to be with you. Now, if you've been in a relationship with a man for 9 months, you got him. If you've been in a relationship with him for 9 months, you got him. All you got to do is keep him pointed in the direction that he wants to go in, and don't interrupt. And don't interrupt. And make him comfortable. And if he ain't making the money at this particular point, then take him out. Take him out. He don't have a car at this particular point in time. You all are going somewhere. Get in the car. Let him drive your car to wherever you're going. If you short on cash and you said that you're going to pay for it, slip him the money under the table. Slip him your credit card under the table. This is your man. Work on your relationship with your man. Use your femininity to secure your relationship with the man that you want, based on whether or not he wants the same things you do. If he does not want the same things you do, then you have to move on. Just as simple as that. But good men are out there. And I'm gonna tell you that, but the key is stop looking for guys with the big cars, this, that, and the other. They could be just showboating, they could be in debt up to their butt. They could be in debt. You got to read a man, and you read him by listening to him and finding out what he wants. And once you find out what he wants, illustrate to him through your character, not through your words, that you can be his life partner. Through illustration, show him that you can be his life partner and that you have his back. Let him blossom. Let him blossom. Watch him. Because when he gets 20, 25, 27, he's going to start to lock in. By 30, he's going to have things figured out. By 35, you can't touch him with a stick. He's going to be ready. He's going to be doing his thing. And he's not going to, if you all are going out together and he's on his hustle, he ain't got time to be messing around with no other women. And if he's on his hustle and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, then other women are going to know that he is married. They're going to know that he is married, and he's not going to hide that fact. And the main thing you got to do, if something does happen, they have a little quickie or whatever happens, don't give away your man, because that's what they want you to do. Women want to steal your man. Keep your eyes on your prize. Keep your eyes on this man that you have developed. And understand this. This cheating and stuff and going out with maybe a different woman every now and then, it's a phase. It's just a phase. And he's going to come out, and he may go into that phase, but he's going to come out of that phase, and he will be more focused on his plan. That's the key. Now, can I, a man, tell you all the things that you should do? No, not a woman. You're a feminine woman. When you see the man you want, then you're supposed to let your instinct take over. Let your instinct take over. And lock him in. Use your instincts to lock him in. I can tell you that a man wants respect. I can tell you a man wants respect. You give him respect, 60% of the job is done. But that other 40%, I can only tell you things in general. The other 40%, you got to think for yourself and figure it out. Not all men are the same. But if you show him that you can cook, clean, and manage your money, and you got his back, you got a husband. But then, hey, some men don't mind cooking. Some men don't mind cleaning, and they may be better at it than you. Don't restrain him. Listen to him. Watch what he does. And if he's doing the things that if he has the same goals that you have, then just sit back. And when you have to give him a little push, when you have to give him a little push, give him a little push. I don't mean nag him all the time. But if you got to give him a little push, give him a little push. But when it comes to going out and things like that, you put your foot down when it comes to the boys. You go out as a family. You put your foot down. We're going out as a family because we're spending family money. He'll understand that. Go to a restaurant he wants to go to. Put demands on his time. Put demands on his personal time. Because that's your time. A man has no problem with a woman that wants to be with him. That's respect. That's love. Give him respect. He'll give you love in return. If I left anything out, put it in the comments and we'll talk about it. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later. Good luck.